Hey everyone, it's me Ken, and today I have something different to talk about. You know, something a little less stolen from Maximilian. So kick back and please enjoy the show. Well, it's official, guys. Every single character that's going to be in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has been released. And there's already talks about who's going to be the best, who's going to be the worst, high tier, low tier. And whenever I hear these things, they kind of pain me a little bit because in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I truly believe that there's going to be a lot of new characters that are going to rise to the top and be real contenders when the game comes out. The thing is, many of the talks that I've heard are about old characters like Zero and Wesker, who are going to be the new top tier again, even though they're already top tier in the old game. So I'm making this video to try and point out some of the things I've noticed while watching a lot of UMVC3 footage. And it's about these higher tier characters and things they changed about the actual game itself to try and scale down these characters that I think will actually work wonders when UMVC3 drops. So let's talk about Wesker. At first glance, his quote-unquote nerfs actually don't even seem that bad. Half of them are buffs, actually. They gave him a new sunglasses mode, which powers him up the more he gets damaged. And yes, they did give him slightly less health and less hit stun, on his gun, but he's pretty much the same character overall. So it's a clear and honest choice to say, well, he's going to be high tier again. But as I've been going through some UMVC3 footage, I've realized that might not be true. In Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's way harder to build meter. The whole meter building system has been reconfigured so that each combo you do, it does 10% less meter than it did in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. One of the main reasons why Wesker was such a great character was because he built a lot of meter and he was great on point. With the meter taken away, you can start to see, well, maybe he won't be so good on point. For example, this combo that Maximilian does with Wesker nets him about maybe, 3/4 of a meter. The same combo in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 nets you exactly 1 meter. That just shows the 10% descaling that they've done in Ultimate. See, in the long run, if you do 3 or 4 or 5 more combos, yes, you'll get to 5 bars, but it'll take way longer. Also, you should take into consideration, what if I do a side aerial exchange? Well, that's a meter already taken away, which hinders his meter gain even more. They've added a lot of hit stun to heavies, and combos in general just work differently. So Wesker's famous loop combo that Viscant brought to the light but many Wesker players have been using before him, it's not going to work the same way. Usually you'd be able to get an S off of it and go into a long combo, but if you seriously want it to work, now you have to just settle for a team super or maybe something else after his OTG gun. Remember, I am in no way saying that Wesker is going to be a bad character in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I'm just saying he might not be the best. He might not be the front runner like he was in MVC3. So on that note, let's move on to Zero. Zero is just like Wesker because he's a mixed bag of buffs and nerfs. His main buff is that he can cancel into his level 3 Buster from pretty much every special move. This is great for baiting things or even making things safe, and it also expands his combo repertoire. His main nerf, however, is that he has a lot less hit stun on all of his normals, which means the combos and the loops that you could do with Zero in MVC3 won't work in UMVC3 the same way. So with that being said, since Zero is pretty much the exact same character he was in MVC3, he should still be high tier. And I was close to believing that wholeheartedly until I realized one small nerf. His Buster does not cause a hard knockdown anymore. Okay, so this means two things. Most of the combos he does with his Buster that end with his Rikoha super won't work because the opponent will be able to roll out. And this also takes away his main attribute. It's the ability to set up a hard knockdown mix-up situation with the Buster. As you can see in this clip from Season's Beatings, Flocker uses this attribute very well. He uses the Buster to set up a hard knockdown situation, then uses Tron to mix up the opponent. You can see how in high level play, this is very, very good. And them taking this away might hinder Zero's damage output and his mix-up potential. So that's why I'm saying maybe Zero might not be high tier in UMVC 3, because other characters that can mix up well and do the same amount of damage and have higher health are available in the game, like Virgil. Speaking of Virgil, he's my next topic. In all sincerity, I think Virgil's a great character. He has speed, range, mobility. What more could you ask for? There's only one flaw that I've seen with him though. And this one flaw I think might keep him from being the best in the game. He doesn't do enough damage. The only way for him to do lots of damage at one time is using X Factor or using lots of meter. And as I said earlier, meter is not something that's so easy to get in UMVC 3. The way he does damage is through mix-ups and resets, which is great because most of his moves leave the opponent high up in the air, and if you combine that with a teleport, it's really hard to block. The thing is, if we learn to block these mix-ups and avoid the resets, he becomes a way less scary character. And in my opinion, for a character to be the best in the game, they must have lots of reset and mix-up options, and also be able to do lots of damage once they get the hit. All in all, I think UMVC 3 is going to be a great game, and pretty much every character will be able to be played at a high level. Except Tron and Hishinko. And Morgan. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. So if you like this video, please comment, rate, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, and you hate me, please comment, rate, subscribe if you want. So yeah, it's really a lot of work to do these. Trust me, I don't know how Maximilian does them, but I love doing them, so if you guys like them too, I'll try to continue. This has been Ken123103, and if you want to see more of me, please read the description. Thanks for watching. Signing out.